We decided to book an adventure through a small company called Big Dream Boatman. Our trip was from Nido to Coron, 4 days and 3 nights, with 14 adventurers and 9 crewmen. We had to wake up early in the morning to catch the first flight from Manila to Nido. We were tired, yet we were also excited at the same time. From here, we took a ride to the port of El Nido to meet up with the Boatman company. After a meet and greet, we head off to our first destination, Catlao Beach, which is not far from the port. We boarded our boat and the crew started to give us an orientation. After everyone introduced themselves, we head off, leaving civilization as we know it. Bye-bye, hot showers! And here's our itinerary for the next 2 days. Now, they don't tell us the itinerary before our trip, because they said the plans may change even the same day. So maybe it's a good thing that we don't know where we're going. Just as long as we come back in one piece. One thing to note is that we only had about 45 minutes to an hour at each stop. So we had to decide, do we swim, snorkel, kayak, paddleboard, or just relax? I had the extra dilemma of taking a video, a photo, or even flying my drone. Flying the drone it is, more than stuff on the shore. I also decided to try to include as much footage of my fellow adventurers as possible. You have people from all over the world, Germany, Brazil, England, Turkey I think, India, US, to name a few off the top of my head. I believe almost everyone was from a different country. So I kinda wanted to make a video for all of us, I guess. I wanted to spook them a little bit. Since it's the first outing, they didn't realize it was me. Now, I believe these boats are called banca boats or banca boats. If you're curious about the size of the boat, the sides are called outriggers, which helps stabilizes the boat when the fishermen haul in their catches. It's also used to store things like kayaks and paddleboards. The net there, well, you can just lay down on them. As you can see, maybe it's someone's first time on the paddleboard. Now, I made the mistake of eating a full lunch and immediately lying down, and with the choppy waters ahead for the rest of the day, along with the fact that we only had a couple of hours of sleep the night before, that combo didn't mix well. So we rested for the rest of the day. Sorry, no footage for the second stop. My apologies. For our first campsite, I was still feeling a little bit queasy, so I totally forgot that I left most of my recording equipment on board the boat. Ugh, I was so mad. No phone, no GoPro, no camera, no drone. Like, what the hell was I thinking? So the only footage I was able to get was from her camera, since her phone later on in the trip bit the dust. Nothing was recoverable. All the phones, the videos were lost. Gone. Gone forever. Unrecoverable. More on that later. Since we were so exhausted, we needed to catch up on some sleep. So the only thing I did that evening was the bonfire. So the only footage you see here is the morning after. Now I could have gone back to the boat and get my gear, but I would have to go through the water and back, so no. Instead of being bummed out for not having my gear, we decided to play around with the seashells and the corals. Yes, these are actually corals you see here. Not stones, but dried up corals that landed on the shore. Yeah, I know it's cheesy, but Now, onward to our adventure. The first half of the day, we went to these 3 islands. Now, the first stop was actually only about 5 minutes away. Clear and blue waters. So what did we all do? Everyone decided to snorkel. Oh, you're going in my fish tank. The corals here were basically like right off the shore. I mean, I think it was starting about maybe around 20 feet from the shore, maybe. I mean, the water here was so shallow that, I mean, like, you can't even stand without stepping on the corals. So I had to be very diligent. Ah, jellyfish! Ah, no, get away from me! Don't you dare sting me! Our second stop here was not that far away, and they said that the corals here were better than the first one. But we were kind of tired from our first one, so sadly we had to skip it and try to pace ourselves. I felt like it was kinda too windy to fly my drone, so I decided to play with our little furry friends on board. Introducing Yellow and Mora. They're actually the crew's pets, or maybe it's their mascot. Get 'em, get 'em, get 'em! Bite, bite, bite! Arr, 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 arr. Show 'em who's the alpha dog. Now, they've said that there might be cobras on these islands, so I was like, I'm staying on the boat. Mosquitoes? Yeah. Jellyfish? Yeah. Cobras? Oh hell no. Back to flying. As you can see here, they have a surfboard. I didn't realize until later on it was actually kite surfing. And I missed it. Man, I would have loved that footage. The reason why I missed it was because my drone was constantly alerting me. Danger, high winds. I already lost one drone. I didn't want to lose another one. So back to lesser winds. And maybe find some more fellow adventurers. Well, someone's in the water. I can't tell who it is. Comparing the two boats. Which one? There's our snorkeler. I wonder if I should... Ah, there he is. There you go, buddy. Soak it in, soak it in. Huh? What? What is that supposed to mean? You want me to call you? Well, look who we have here. Steve and Jarena. All I can say is, you better not bring back any snakes on board. I don't want to be in a movie. Snakes on a plane. I mean on a boat. Pretty nice backdrop. For the second half of the day, we went turtle watching at the Bluet village. If you're wondering why the image is so blue, that's because I forgot my red filter. I'll show you the difference in another video later. Now, what does that look like to you? He's saying it's a sea cucumber, but I'm sorry, man. That looks like a snake to me. You going that way? I'm going the opposite way. I decided to find more fishies. After touring the village and loading up on supplies, we headed out to our second campsite for the night. It's the Palawan guest house. Oh, FYI, now each campsite actually gives you several hours or sometimes overnight to charge your electronic devices, so take advantage of it. I had asked the guide what is our agenda for the night, so he said after dinner it'll be karaoke. Now, more on that later. So there's our mini huts. Nice and cozy. Now for our first campsite, we had a picture of the cottage, but it was on someone's phone. And that phone later on, well, you have to stay to part 2 to find out what happened to it. Now, to reiterate, we have a limited time on what to do at each location, so I had to decide quickly what to concentrate on. After getting situated and freshening up, I decided to try and get a sunset shot. While walking around scouting for composition, only with my phone with me, not expecting to take a shot now, something caught my attention, so I jumped on it and took this shot. You see, Hannah, the beer bottle wasn't completely straight, but hey, it's still a good shot to me, even with just a phone. So to conclude part 1 of this trip, I will leave you with this one final note about the karaoke. That night, when I went to sleep, some of you were still singing, and that one song still rings in my head. I wasn't sure if I was dreaming or half asleep, but here's that song. I hope to see you in part 2.